Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video, and I'm going to be playing more Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. See, I got the title right this time. Not the full title, but the full title is just kind of ridiculous. I started like 20 minutes, well actually like 30, shoot. I started like 40 minutes earlier than usual, which is about twice as much as I originally said, so I'm not sure why I made that mistake, but anyways, I'm starting earlier than usual just because I don't know, I just felt like it, really. Anyways, last time, if you recall correctly, we were just about to start a trial when I figured I'd been playing for over 2 hours. It was probably a good time to stop. But, we are continuing this time, and, yep. Penguin Wise Guy says he'll wreck me. He probably will. And again, like I say every time, if I say something random that has nothing to do with the game, then it means I'm reading off the chat, and I'll skip this because I already know what we're doing. Yeah. Witness testimony. Now, I always skip the testimony because I'm going to read it again anyways, so there's really no point in, you know, reading the testimony. I'm going to hear it all again. Magic. Sir Apprentice Baker, you may now begin your interrogation. I have but one piece of evidence. I suggest you pay it heed. Oh, I need to read this in a British accent. Do not waste the court's time by grilling these witnesses over irrelevant nonsense, Sir Apprentice Baker. Are you alright, Nick? They sure love calling you an apprentice baker, huh? I'll be honest with you, Maya, I have no idea how I'm feeling right now, but why are we at war? I don't know, you tell me. I know it's all up to me. As her defender, Hespella's fate is in my hands. I have to believe in her. I need to start believing in myself. I can do this. I believe Hespella is innocent, and I'll fight until the end to prove it. That's the spirit. Yeah, that's the spirit. We can do this thing, Nick. Yeah, do this thing. Cross-examination. Yeah. What we saw tonight. The delicious scent of mid-evening dinner pre-meated the air, and a soft light shone faintly in the distance.
Hold it!
Are you sure it was faint? What time would that be exactly? Dinner time. When else would the scent of dinner be in the air, if not dinner time? Do you see? Well, yeah, dinner time, but when do you eat dinner? Not so much. The sun had already set by that time. That should be adequate. Do you not have clocks in the Middle Ages? The sun had already set? So you clearly witnessed what happened tonight, is that correct? I have been dubbed a witness, thus I must clearly have witnessed something, do you see? In that case, how much light was there in the immediate area at the time? This is actually a pretty logical line of questioning. I think Phoenix is doing a good job for a quote-unquote non-lawyer. Let's make up a story. You make up the story because I need to play the game right now. When I have time, I'll read over your story and critique it, like Gordon Ramsay does to food. Oh shoot, I didn't read that. Never mind. No, that doesn't add up. If the area was completely dark, when you couldn't possibly have witnessed anything, do you see? Nevertheless, something caught my eye. It was a most ominous sight. Ominous is what the sight was. Okay, I get it. It was ominous. Poor form, Sir Apprentice Baker. I hate to disappoint you, but there was in fact light in the area. Huh? Take a look at this. This is a drawing of the crime scene, based on the witnesses' accounts as penned by the court illustrator. The court illustrator? I've never heard of that before. Yeah, because it doesn't exist. Look carefully. This shows what the scene looked like at the time of the murder. Yeah. So there is clearly light, but I'm just surprised he had the time to draw this. An illustration of the highest quality, as always. Now then. We have established that by the time the murder had occurred, the sun had already set. And so, naturally, the defendant was carrying a firelit lantern, as we can see. A lantern? Eureka! Indeed. Yes, that is what I was saying earlier. Hold on, I need to do something. I need to share this with someone. Then I'll get back to the stuff. Okay, hold on. Wait, what? There. Alrighty. Anyways. There was a lantern. A lantern, I say. Oh, please. You totally forgot. Yeah, you probably did. When has a witness ever remembered? To be honest, I did not imagine it would be necessary to present this, but... Oh, wait, no, I need to read this in a British accent. My lord, here is the lantern in question. This is what was responsible for the light illuminating the area. Very well, the court accepts this into evidence. Yep. Lantern added to the court record. Speaking of which, Inquisitor Barnum, in this drawing, the accused seems to be holding a milk bucket of sorts. What became of this? That is a strange case indeed, my lord. That bucket seemingly disappeared from the murder scene. The milk bucket disappeared, you say? There has been talk of wolves living in the nearby forest. It is thought they often make off with the items they find on the ground. Great. Wolves that steal your stuff. Remind me never to set foot in that forest. This is great, Nick. We've got new evidence now. Yeah, I guess you're right. You know, Nick, good lord. You really don't look like just some normal run-of-the-mill baker. I'd say you're more like a somewhat articulate run-of-the-mill baker. I think you might even have a knack for being a defender. There's a clear contradiction somewhere in that testimony, and I'm going to find it. Wait, have I read everything? Have I pressed everything? Oh, no, I have not. Muggs grabbed the girl by the arm. It looked like he almost pushed her to the ground. We got into, altercation in Vegas the same night, too, fact. Yeah, that's, we'll go with that. Alright, hold on. There we go. Muggs was one of the two rogues, is that correct? That's right, that man, he grabbed the girl's arm and pulled out a knife. What the heck? Is something wrong? I would guess so. Or was it Robs that grabbed the girl and had the knife? Huh? Oh dear, now let's see. Muggs was the one and Robs was the... No, I think it was the other way around. Humph. Well, it doesn't really matter which way, whatever. Bah! That's all well and good, but I was kind of just hoping you'd testify about the lantern. You made a comment about penguins. Yep, that makes, that works. Honorable witness, please continue with your testimonies. I heard a faint voice cry out. The next moment, those two villainous men burst into flames. Wow. Exactly whose cry did you hear? Well, it was the accused. It was Ispella's voice, of course. And did you get a good look at Miss Cantabella's face? Yes, I mean, she was carrying that huge lantern, after all. You're only sure because all the other witnesses just finished saying they saw her with the lantern. Yeah. Now this guy. There was not a trace of the fire to be seen in the area. Without a doubt, magic must have been used. Isn't it a bit premature to assume it was magic? What an absurd statement. Say what? Think about it. The nays were engulfed in flames in the blink of an eye. The blink of an eye. There was not a single trace of any other fire source to be found in the area. Not a trace. Did I hear that right? I think I just found a contradiction in the testimony. Let's do this thing, Nick. Hurry up and present something. Okay, so apparently the last statement is has a contradiction. Hit him with some decisive evidence. Yeah. And I was in a coma for over 19 years. This is all very good. Espella was carrying a lantern at the time of the murder. That fact definitely contradicts a certain witness's testimony. That's right, but even if we know what the contradiction is, where do we go from there? We'll just have to cross that bridge when we get to it. I mean, what can we do? We're just a couple of bakers, after all, in a spirit medium's outfit and a lawyer's suit. No, Maya, I think you're wrong. Huh? I don't know why, but I feel like I know how to do this. If you're going to speak up in court, there's only one thing that people will listen to, and that's evidence. I just have to try and present evidence whenever there's a contradiction in one of their testimonies. Okay, Nick, let's give their testimonies another listen. Alright, I'm pretty sure that the contradiction is in the last statement, so I'll present something there. Alright. Case outline. Accused, Espella Cantabella, charges the use of witchcraft to burn 2 male victims alive. Lantern. The lantern Espella was holding. The glass is broken and is covered in mud. Accused, Espella Cantabella, charges the use of witchcraft to burn 2 male victims alive. And I was told about what you did and took a year to find you and tell you about the disc that night. Yep. This is all sounding pretty good so far. I actually don't think that's it. I heard a faint voice cry out. The next moment, those 2 villainous men burst into flames. Espella Cantabella charges the use of witchcraft to burn 2 male victims alive. The lantern Espella is holding, the glass is broken and is covered in mud. Muggs grabbed the girl by the arm. It looked like he almost pushed her to the ground. I see. The delicious scent of mid-evening dinner permeated the air, and the soft light shone faintly in the distance. Huh. I guess it would have to be his. But I'm really not sure which evidence it would be, so maybe the lantern. Alright, it is the lantern, but I'm not sure where this is taking us. Yeah, it's all coming together. What is the matter, defense? Oh, wow. This is getting epic. What is this feeling? I just felt that urge to shout and out, right from the bottom of my lungs, while pointing my finger. Yeah, that's something that happens when you're playing these games. Objection! I can't help but feel that's a word I've used quite a bit in the past. Yeah. You have. That's it. I remember now. I remember everything. The Legal League of Attorneys exchange, Espella's trial, and then that strange book. I wonder if Maya remembers. This feeling. I feel like I can take on the world. Wow. Witness. What's with the sudden pointing? I am soon to be a member of the Honorable Knights of the Inquisition. I accept your challenge. Have at you. You say that no fire was present at the scene of the crime, meaning the defendant must have used magic. Unfortunately for you, that is not the case. What do you mean, Sir Apprentice Baker? British accent. What I mean is that the defendant was, in fact, carrying a lantern containing fire. Those 2 rogues were actually burned by the flame that was inside the lantern. That is the only logical explanation. My, what a startling conclusion you've come to, Sir Apprentice Baker. What do you mean? The only logical explanation? Do you agree with this statement, honorable witnesses? It is presumptuous, good lord, for a man that knows nothing to claim that he knows something about which he really knows nothing. Huh? Besides, how could one teeny-tiny flame be strong enough to set them both ablaze like that? There were 2 of them. How could that flame engulf them so fast? Furthermore, if they did burn as you claim they did, do you mean to suggest that they were all soaked in oil or something? They're all coming up with the arguments, and the Inquisitor is just standing there. Oh. Well, Sir Blue Knight, it would seem you have bitten off more than you can chew. Crap, British accent. I definitely didn't see that coming. What say you, my lord? Do you have any thoughts on the proceedings just thus far? Good lord. Given the testimony as we have it, this court has come to its conclusion. 'Twas a truly gruesome and merciless act, an act for which only one thing could be held responsible. The nefarious crime of magic. Farius. Wait just a second. Is there something you have forgotten to mention, Defender? Not exactly, Your Honor. It's just that, you just said magic. That can't be right, can it? We made a fake beef for memes, indeed. That's, something Something not a lot of people can say they did. What are you suggesting, Sir Apprentice Baker? Witches use magic, which in turn brings about disaster. Excuse me. Such is the way of the world, is it not? Well, yeah, that may seem to be the case, but no way is that actually possible. This court finds Espella Cantabella, the accused, charged with being a witch. Espella, a witch? A witch's existence in this world is a crime in itself. The ability to use and control magic is a criminal offense indeed. As such, any witch found practicing magic will be sentenced to death by fire. No, you're wrong, I'm not a witch. Sir Apprentice Baker, I do not envy your current predicament. My lord, hand down your guilty verdict against this witch immediately. Good lord. But there's no evidence to prove that any magic was really used. Put a sock in it, bread boy. We all heard her cast a spell, huh? That's right, Snowy and I heard it. Isn't that right, Precious? We heard that incantation quite clearly. That frightening voice. There's no mistaking it. It was Espella's voice. These ears do not lie. I clearly hear an incantation? Ignize? It's no good. I just can't wrap my head around this topsy-turvy, otherworldly court. Well then, it would seem the defense has no further objections. It appears so. The court finds the use of magic at the time of the murder to be an undeniable fact. So I released the first track as a warm-up and the second one for the impact, then the warning as a warning, yeah. Furthermore, the honorable witnesses have stated that they each heard an incantation being recited. This court finds no reason to delay its verdict any longer. Nick, we have to do something. I know, but what exactly can we do? Here, in this world, our sense of logic is completely useless.
This court is ready to hand down its verdict for the case of Espella Cantabella.
Hold it.
What? Wait a minute, is that Layton?
Your Honor, I request that the court hold its verdict a moment longer.
What is the meaning of this intrusion?
I have something I believe will be of use to the defense. A weapon of sorts.
Evidence?
That's the Grand Grimoire. All of this world's
it's
magic
Grimoire,
is contained
I see.
within its pages.
I think I said Grimoire and Grimoire, so... yeah, close enough. Does your track have a beat? Yeah, it does.
Without it, this trial cannot reach a satisfactory conclusion. The Grand Grimoire.
So that's how you pronounce it. I had no clue before. We meet again, Mr. Wright. Well now, it seems things are already afoot here, although the real contest begins now. Are you fully prepared? So, are you here to help us? Of course. The professor always helps people in trouble. It is the duty of every gentleman, right, Professor? Professor? There is a saying that I find quite useful in situations such as these. There is a time for words and a time for action. Right. You have been working as a baker in this town up until now, have you not? I must say, I am a little mystified. I'd have expected you to be more familiar with this world and its system of magic. Yeah, how can I put this? I guess that's not quite the full story. Is that so? I kind of had an epiphany just now. I remembered all sorts of things, like how I'm not actually a baker, and well, how magic can't really exist. Then it would seem I was correct about you, Mr. Wright. You are not in fact a citizen of this town, is that correct? Right. At least it seems that way. However, for now we have no option but to accept this world and its rules as reality. Without first understanding those rules, I'm afraid you will not be able to save Miss Cantabella. But things like magic only exist in fairy tales and make-believe. I'm afraid, Mr. Wright, it would seem magic does in fact exist in this world. Such a truth cannot be denied. Indeed, this is why the Grand Grimoire is a weapon well suited for which Grand... I think it's Grimoire. I have no clue. Grimoire, okay. At that moment, you are tantamount something to a knight without a sword. I feel more like an attorney without a chance, actually. Right then, Mr. Wright, I'll explain how the Grand Grimoire works. Have a look at the touchscreen. There you'll see the Grand Grimoire button. Touching the Grand Grimoire button will open up the Grand Grimoire. You will be able to present spells from the Grand Grimoire in much the same way you would present evidence. This book will surely be a most important asset for us in this trial. Yeah, we have 2 pieces of evidence, so it's really like the only way. Oh, that reminds me. I've gone ahead and bookmarked the spell Ignace for you. The spell Ignace has been bookmarked in the Grand Grimoire. I'm assuming only the bookmarked parts are the parts we can use. Ignace, that's the magic spell all of the witnesses said they heard, right? Nick, you should take a look at that spell. All I have to do is touch the Grand Grimoire button, huh? Yeah, let's touch it. Ignace. Inferno spell. Summons a circle of flame within a 1 meter radius of the caster. Requires an incantation and a specter to cast. That seems like a contradiction to me. The defender has been given more than enough time. It would seem this trial has reached its end. Is that understood, Sir Apprentice Baker? This case is quite straightforward, with very little room for doubt. I'm going to give up the British accent. The witness's testimony, coupled with the illustration of the time of the murder, makes it quite clear what must have occurred. This murder was the result of magic, and furthermore, the caster of said magic was none other than the accused. That, Sir Apprentice Baker, is the truth. Best you go back to baking, for I believe your days in this courtroom have crumbled. Is everything okay, Mr. Wright? Yes. It would appear that photographs do not exist in this world. Photos don't exist? I guess that makes sense. Ye old time period and all. What's the beat like? You'll have to wait and see. The sketch drawn by the court illustrator. Therein lies your final chance, Mr. Wright. My final chance. I understand the witnesses have already finished their testimony. However, if you could perhaps find a clear contradiction within the illustration, there's another contradiction? In that case, there's still hope that I can turn this around. Mr. Wright, you have to hurry. Look, the judge... He looks ready to deliver his verdict any second now. This is it. This is my last chance. What should I do? Point out a contradiction. Give up. Of course I'm going to point out the contradiction.
Hold it!
1 second, Your Honor. The defense requests permission to have another look at the court illustration. I think there might be a contradiction in there.
Objection.
You are already out of time. All testimony and evidence given thus far... Frick. I wouldn't be so sure, Inquisitor Barnum. There's just one thing you've overlooked. A piece of evidence without this book. The Grand Grimoire. Absurd. I overlooked something? You are the defender here. You should have examined the tome earlier. You're right. I should have. But unfortunately, I was nothing but a simple baker until just now. Interesting. You've certainly begun to show your true colors, Sir Blue Knight. Let us see what type of knight you truly are. Have at you. The defender will now show us the supposed contradiction. The court illustration and the Grand Grimoire. Somewhere there's a contradiction between those two, and I've got to find it. This is my last chance. Defender, use the magnifying glass to locate the point of relevance. Then reveal the location of the contradiction. Okay, let's first look at the Grimoire again. Ignace, Inferno spell. Summons a circle of flame within a 1 meter radius of the caster. Requires an incantation and scepter to cast. Well, she doesn't have a scepter. Yeah, she doesn't have a scepter. I think that's really all there is to it. I could show probably either of her hands, I think, but I'll just go with her right hand. Her right hand, because wait, no, I don't know. This is like the point of interest since it's her free one that's not being grabbed. So I'll present this. The contradiction is here. The hand of the accused. She appears to be holding holding a milk bucket, good lord. Yes, but that milk bucket was said to have vanished from the crime scene. It's quite possible that there's an important reason behind its disappearance. Inquisitor Barnum, what are your thoughts on this? It is quite mysterious indeed, my lord. However, the Inquisition believes it bear no relation to this case. Forest wolves simply came and stole the bucket, nothing more. Let us not dwell on the milk bucket for the time being, Mr. Wright. Rather, we should first consider any information within the Grand Grimoire that might lead us to a contradiction. Our new piece of evidence. Maybe I should have another look at it. I just have to touch the Grimoire button, yeah. Ignae's Inferno spell. Summons a circle of flame within a 1 meter radius of the caster. Requires an incantation and scepter to cast. My apologies, Your Honor. Please give me one more chance. Granted, but be warned, you're running out of chances, Defender. The Defender will now show us the supposed contradiction, the court illustration, and the Grand Grimoire. Somewhere there's a contradiction between those two, and I've got to find it. This is my last chance. Defender, use the magnifying glass to locate the point of relevance. Then reveal to the court the location of the contradiction. So I guess her other hand, then. Yep.
Got it.
Let's hope that this counts. The contradiction is right here. The hand of the accused. She seems to be holding a lantern. What is your point? According to this tome, using the spell Ignae's requires the use of the witch's scepter, as well as an incantation. Isn't that right? Correct. For witches to use magic, they must be in possession of a witch's scepter, also known as a Tele Magica, something like that. If that's the case, then there's one thing that doesn't add up. Take another look at Miss Cantabella's hands. Tell me, do you see the witch's scepter in either of her hands? Good point. There we go. Let's see you point that sword at me now. You did it, Mr. Wright, but wasn't that contradiction just a little too obvious? You may be right, Luke. Eh? It would certainly appear that the good Inquisitor is taking this particular oversight rather too well. That is correct, Sir Apprentice Baker, but you should not underestimate me. This is perhaps your first time seeing this item, is it not? Right here is the very scepter you mentioned. One of the witnesses found it tossed in the shrubbery on the side of the path. Aha, yes, indeed, that was I. I located it. My feet found themselves ensnared in the blasted thing, and it sent me flying through the air. Somehow, I'm not surprised to hear you fall, Gramps. This scepter does seem to carry a most sinister air. Indeed, my lord. However, this scepter will only work while in the hands of a witch, with incantation being said aloud. That's too bad. I wanted to try lighting some stuff on fire. Please don't look at me when you say that. You see, there are 2 magic gems set in the scepter. Magic gems? Looks like a red gem and a white gem. Yep. These gems each contain a particular magic spell. By simply looking at these magic gems, one can easily determine which magic spell can be used. Nick, quick, look at this page. Yep, it's the red one. Ignae's. That's the right one. Is that the red magic gem? Come in. Hey.
Think I might steal the heater now for nighttime. Put it back out there. Oh, you got your window? That's good. Yeah, you can go ahead and shut it now. Good job. Well, just about was froze, huh? Okay, tomorrow's tater tot hot dish at school. You alright with that? I know you said you ate it before.
Yeah.
Okay. You just picked the green beans out. Okay. Tristan, you're good with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, I was just checking. Oh, yeah, and I go plug your clock back in. I think there's a battery in it, isn't there? Yep, it kept the time. Awesome.
Later.
Later. Oh, bedtime.
For him. Indeed, the red gem you see here is the spell Ignaze. If you look carefully, you should notice that the scepter also has one more spell that can be used, and that is one more spell. That must be the white gem. Mr. Wright, I found it. Here's the spell for the white magic gem. I see. I guess the spells are limited by color then, because I don't think they'd have like a red and a darker red. I mean, I think they just, yeah. They're probably... How are you? I'm pretty good. How are you? Demerit, or Dimer, or something like that. I don't know. I'll say Demere because it sounds more like what it might actually be. Vanishing spell. Causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. Simply chant Amere to make it reappear. Yeah, and she made the others disappear, I guess, so that's... The spell Demere has been bookmarked, the Graham Grimoire. Causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. Ugh. Humph. I see you managed to work it out in that crusty head of yours. That's just... it can't be. The reason the witch's scepter couldn't be seen is because the magic spell Demere had made it disappear. Ah, wow. That's right. In other words... The accused conjured a cowardly spell to camouflage her use of magic. No way! Oh, Jesus. I feel something stuck in my throat, but I know it's not actually there. Order. Inquisitor Barnum, please submit the scepter into evidence. Hold on, please. Is there a problem, Sir Baker? Okay, I understand this is a witch's scepter. However, whether or not the scepter was in Miss Cantabella's possession has not been proven. What are you talking about, Sir Apprentice Baker? Isn't it obvious? I'm talking about fingerprints. There's no way they'd be able to know. Supposing Miss Cantabella did in fact handle this witch's scepter, then her fingerprints should still be on it. Yeah, they don't even know what those are in this time. Yeah. That's not gonna work. What's with the silence? You said fingerprints? Inquisitor Barnum, tell me, just what is this Baker blabbering about? I have the slightest clue, my lord. I haven't the slightest clue. It is the Baker's first time in court, after all, huh? I'm afraid it's no use, Mr. Wright. In this world, it would seem the concept of fingerprints does not yet exist. Well, fingerprints are there, it's just that you can't really see them that well, and you can't tell the difference between different fingerprints. What? I can't believe it. As I have said already, best your head back to the bakery, lest you continue to serve this court more of your half-baked ideas. They're about as half-baked as your terrible puns, Barnum. Forensic science does not exist here. Instead, this is a world in which witches and magic are accepted as fact. Well, I mean, they do have a scepter, so it might be fact. Truly fascinating. Telia Magica. A magic scepter needed to cast spells. The available spells depend on the magic gems. What the heck? There are just way too many things I don't know about this world. Mr. Wright, I believe you may be able to take these things you don't know and use them to your advantage. Huh? The Inquisition believes there is no room for debate on this matter. The accused clearly attempted to conceal her magic. Better luck next time, Sir Apprentice Baker. Mayhap your next loaf will not leave such a bitter taste in our mouths. Now then, my lord, I believe it is time. I ask that you render your unwavering verdict.
Objection.
That's Layton. Pardon the interruption. May I have a word, Inquisitor Barnum? What's that? Who might you be? My name is Herschel Layton. I am a friend of the accused. Inquisitor Barnum, please allow me to confirm what you believe happened on the night of the crime. You claim the witch's scepter was made to disappear through the use of magic, is that correct? Indeed, through the magic spell Demare. If possible, would you mind providing proof of this particular claim? What? You claim the scepter was not seen. Indeed, that is one possibility. However, a wise man must always consider every possibility. What say you, Inquisitor Barnum? Excuse me. Can the Inquisition fulfill the request presented by the gentleman with the unusual hat? The Inquisition cannot honor this request for proof. Can or can't, I don't know. I think he said cannot. If you are asserting that the accused is not a witch, then the burden of proof lies at the feet of the defender. That is true. The one who asserts something is the one who has to prove it. That is how the burden of proof works. Come on, it's the Inquisition's job to prove that a crime was committed. Well, true. However, the thing that we are currently asserting is something that we ourselves have to prove. As I thought. Indeed, it would appear the accepted method of thinking in this world differs greatly from our own. How regrettable, Sir Apprentice Baker, and you, Sir Dark Hat. What the heck? Inquisitor Barnum, sure. Should you require it, I stand ready to lend my testimony. Would anyone care to purchase any pre-testimony flowers? I've got a lovely array of bewitching lilies. Snowy and I will not be dismissed so easily. We came here to expose the identity of this witch. Isn't that right, Precious? A witch's scepter, you say? Yes, I know of such a scepter. My God. Allow me to elucidate the matter. What do you think, Inquisitor Barnum? Your witnesses appear to have something to say on the subject. Very well. Most honorable witnesses, I grant your request to testify once more. Tell the court all you know regarding this tea magic, or something like that. Oh, well, we've somehow managed to keep this trial going. I owe you one, Sir Dark Hat. Please, Mr. Wright, Mr. Layton will suffice for the time being. Witness testimony. Again, I skipped the witness testimony. It's really just wasted time. I see. The accused hand was contorted in a strange way. I do believe this is quite an important piece of testimony. I saw it. I most certainly saw it. She was holding an invisible scepter. We saw it too. It was the girl up there, without a doubt. I as well. These old eyes didn't see as well as they once did, but I witnessed the hazy, blurry form of the accused quite clearly. Don't tell the court you're blind. My eyesight is as sharp as the edge of my trusty blade. A toy sword. How fascinating. Although I wonder if he understands the implications of that analogy on his vision. Sir Baker, you may proceed with your interrogation. Mr. Layton's given me another chance. I can't let it go to waste. Cross-examination. When I saw her, the witch was carrying a large milk bucket in one hand and a lantern in the other. Alright, I don't think I'm going to press on anything. I think I'm just going to go straight for presenting the evidence. The girl had the lantern hanging from her wrist. Her hand was contorted in a strange way. Hold on, let's look at the... Oh no, we don't need this. I got a good look at her hand, and it looked for certain that she was gripping something. The witch was holding a scepter in her right hand. She did not drop it once before she was apprehended. Acute charges the use of witchcraft to burn 2 male victims alive. The lantern a spell was holding, the glass is broken and is covered in mud. A magic scepter needed to cast spells. The available spells depend on the magic gems. Is everything alright, Mr. Wright? The truth about what happened is, in that brief instance, will likely decide Espella's fate. I have to do everything I can to find a contradiction in these testimonies. Guess I should take another look at the court record. When I saw her, the witch was carrying a large milk bucket in one hand and a lantern in the other. Okay. The girl had the lantern hanging from her wrist. Her hand was contorted in a strange way. I got a good look at her hand, and it looked for certain that she was gripping something. Hold on. I'll press on this, I think.
Hold it!
She had the lantern hanging from her wrist. Are you sure? Of course we're sure. If that wasn't it, then how would the girl manage to have held her invisible scepter? My God. Ma'am, please, just testify about what you actually saw. We just said that's what we saw. Isn't that right, Snowy? Indeed, a handle as wide as this could be easily hung from the accused's small wrist. Yes, that's what we were telling you. Isn't that right, Mummy's little snowball? It's no good. They're all bent on assuming Espella was holding that scepter. It seems it may be best not to pursue this particular line of questioning any further. Well, that's just super. I got a good look at her hand, and it looked for certain that she was gripping something. Let's see... Hold on. The witch was holding a scepter in her right hand. She did not drop it once before she was apprehended. I think I know what to present. Yeah, I'll present this part of the Grand Grimoire.
Objection!
And that's wrong. This evidence proves there's a contradiction in the witness's testimony. Does it? I don't see how it does. Penalty? Penalty. Wow. If only there was a magic spell for objections. That'd be a really lame spell, Nick. I think I should probably save. Just in case. No, crap. No, I didn't. Bruh. When I saw her, the witch was carrying a large milk bucket in one hand and a lantern in the other. The girl had the lantern hanging from her wrist. Her hand was contorted in a strange way. I got a good look at her, and it looked for certain that she was gripping something.
Objection!
Nope, doesn't work this time either. I should probably press on more statements. Jesus. No, hold on. Okay. It's kind of confusing the way the camera moves. Alright, I'll press this.
Hold it!
The large lantern you mentioned is this one, correct? There is no mistaking it. That fiendish form, with its case darker than the darkest of nights, that was the lantern. It's just a normal lantern. What is this? It would seem the glass is shattered, and there seems to be a sizable amount of mud stuck to it. In closer inspection, it appears mud that stuck to the broken sections of glass. Most intriguing. So then, what exactly did the lantern get mud all over? When? Alright. By the way, witness, you also saw a milk bucket, is that right? Indeed. I would bet my sword on it. And yet that milk bucket mysteriously vanished from the scene of the crime. General Kenobi. You are a bold one. How many times must I say it, Sir Apprentice Baker? The problem is the Black Lantern, also high. Alright, I'll press this as well. The girl had the lantern hanging from her wrist. Her hand was contorted in a strange way.
Hold it!
She had the lantern hanging from her wrist. Are you sure? I need your help. Mr. Light. Okay, wait, he's talking to you. Right. Of course we're sure. If that wasn't it, then how else would the girl manage to hold her invisible scepter? Ma'am, please, just testify. Oh, crap. We already pressed this. Yes, that's what we were telling you. Isn't that right, Mummy's little snowball? It's no good. They're all bent on assuming a spell was holding that scepter. Yeah. Oh, wow. Jesus. Tristan, what? Who are you talking to, Penguin-Wise guy? I got a good look at her hand, and it looked for certain that she was gripping something. He's planning to ruin my career. Just so you know, he's joking. So, whether or not you want to pursue this conversation is purely up to you. Yeah. What exactly was the defendant gripping? It was, that's right, it was something cane-like. What was it called? A witch's scepter? Yes, it was definitely that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Miss Kyria, you didn't actually see it, did you? Witness. This cane-like object, was it perhaps roughly this size? Oh, why yes, it was exactly that size. It's no good. They're all bent on assuming a spell was holding that scepter. Yeah. The witch was holding it. Alright, I guess, I think pressing won't do anything else. Alright, I think I'm gonna need a hint. Shoot. Okay. The girl had the lantern hanging from... Alright, hold on. Yeah. Alright. Case outline. Accused. A spell of Cantabella charges the use of witchcraft to burn 2 male victims alive. The lantern the spell was holding, the glass is broken and is covered in mud. Talia magic. A magic scepter needed to cast spells. The available spells depends on the magic gems. Okay. Grand Grimoire. Demir, vanishing spell. Causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. Simply chant Amir to make it reappear. Ignaze. Inferno spell. Summons a circle of flame within a 1 meter radius of the caster. Requires an incantation and scepter to cast. I got a good look at her hand, and it looked for certain that she was gripping something. The witch was holding a scepter in her right hand. She did not drop it once before she was apprehended. I think this is probably the proof of that. Yeah, because she dropped that, so it only figures that she... yeah, keep, I don't know what I'm saying, keep doing that, Penguin Wise guy, keep pressing, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, you go, boy. Alright then, that sentence got away from me. Alright. There is a high probability that Miss Cantabella was not holding the scepter. Yeah, this isn't exactly definitive proof, however, she did drop the lantern, so it only really figures... Objection! Hi, I'm Penguin Wise, guys. Dr. Tristan Foss put my patient in a coma. Objection! I am the judge. Yes, what am I doing with my life? What is your objection? Yep. Tupac died 23 years ago in 1996. I doubt Tristan is 23 years old. Dun 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 dun. So what do you have to... Do you have any proof of this, Penguin Wise Guy? Alright. I need to kind of multitask, I guess. Alright. But if, for the sake of argument, she had been holding it, she would undoubtedly have dropped it at the time of the incident. What do you mean? What I mean, Inquisitor Barnum, is that this lantern proves the defendant was not holding the scepter. What foolishness are you spouting, Sir Apprentice Baker? The lantern's handle was around the accused's waist. Good lord. Meaning that she could have held the scepter? I'm afraid that's the problem here, Inquisitor Barnum. The problem is with the broken glass and the mud plastered all over it. What? The rain had ended just as the murder was taking place. That would make the path fairly muddy, don't you agree? I am Tristan Foss's friend. Tristan is lying about his age. He's 40. Even if he is 23, he would have been just a baby. Alright, he's saying that I'm 40, so... I mean, it's... The burden of proof is for him to... For him to, yeah, prove that, I guess. I don't know. The chat is becoming one of the greatest things I've ever seen. When the thieves grabbed Miss Cantabella by the arm, the lantern must have fallen into the mud. I have a mild stroke at all times, so it's hard for me to read anything. The lantern fell into the mud. Why, of course, that makes sense, doesn't it, my little snowy wowie? Well, what do you say, Inquisitor Barnum? If she was holding the scepter at the time, that would mean that she would have dropped the lantern. The scepter would have fallen along with it, yeah. It's the only way. And he smokes meth. Yeah, you're gonna have to prove that, Penguin Wise Guy. Show us definitive evidence that I smoke meth and that I'm 40 years old. Meth is not a drug. What's going on? Inquisitor Barnum seems speechless. That defender's managed to turn this thing around, even though he's just some baker. Let's ask him himself. Tristan, how old were you when Tupac died? I wasn't born yet. No way. Pay the witch's accomplices no heed. They're just trying to trick you. What is this? One moment, please. Everyone, please, listen. Didn't we all just stand here and explain to the court what we clearly saw? It's a lantern, so what? What's so special about it? Explain it to me so I can understand. You're lying, Wise Guy. Looks like you're screwed, Wise Guy. No, I never said that. I never said I was 16. I wasn't born yet. You heard it from the source, folks. What do you have to say to that now, Penguin Wise Guy? So that you can understand? Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious just by looking at it. Mr. Wright, what is it, Mr. Layton? There is something about this witness. Miss Kira, was it? Tell me, Miss Kira. Kira. How good is your eyesight exactly? Kira is Japanese for killer. So... anyone who's seen Death Note would know that Kira is Japanese for killer. Well, it said outright in the 2017 version. In the original version, it's just his name. He doesn't really say it outright. But yeah, Kira is Japanese for killer. So I'm a little suspicious about her. But yeah, yes, you did. You crack addict. No, I never said that. I never said that. Show us the proof. As you just heard Mr. Wright explain, the answer to your query is quite obvious at a glance. Tell me, are you able to see the mud present on this lantern? Mud? What mud? What are you talking about? Your Honor, did you... Oh, God. Professor Layton's getting angry. I never thought I'd see that. Your Honor, did you hear that just now? Yes, indeed. What does it mean, exactly? It means that Miss Kira's poor eyesight is the reason she cannot see the mud present on this lantern. In other words, the validity of Miss Kira's testimony is questionable at best. Seems like this Wise Guy is backed into a corner. Yes. Wise Guy, you need to come out with some evidence, boy. Some evidence, boy. Ah! Well, Order! Order in the court. What is the meaning of this? What say you in your defense, witness? I highly recommend you give us nothing but the truth. I'm sorry, Inquisitor Barnum. It's true, I need to wear glasses. All the time, in fact. You need to wear glasses? Aha, now that you mention it, I did notice something odd about you today. Oh, I thought you looked familiar. Gone is the mist that clouded my mind. In its place, clarity. Fair maiden, a pair of spectacles are as valuable as a shield to a knight. Make haste and procure another pair. Now then, Miss Cura, tell me, at the time of the incident, were you wearing your glasses? No, I was not wearing them. The truth is, I lost my glasses a couple of days ago. Did they have glasses in the Middle Ages? I wonder. You lost them? So, her glasses were missing during the time of the incident. Mr. Wright, might I recommend that you keep note of this fact? It could prove useful later. Got it. There we go. Am I to believe there is nothing left to prove on this matter? At the time... Frick. Wait just a moment. Snowy and I have much more left to say. That's right. My trusty sword of justice shall cut through the witch's treacherous lies. I may have lost my glasses, but I haven't lost my will to testify. Now she's eating the flower? Eureka! I remember now. Old age has a way of sneaking up on me. I'm sure you must understand. Yeah, I understand. I understand you're all completely ridiculous. It would seem we have not yet arrived at a clear-cut verdict. Witnesses, you may once again begin to testify to the court. Now, I don't think it's been exactly an hour, but I think it's been long enough, so I'm going to save this and continue next time, because I want to have more time to do some other stuff. We've been playing for 8 hours and 56 minutes, so almost 9 hours, and yeah, I will continue next time. Tristan, yes, what is it? The picture? Alright then. What is it? Show us the picture, then I'll end the stream. I have the proof. Alright then, show it. Show us the proof. Show it to us! Now. No, you must show it. 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 Show it, boy. Show it, boy. Show it, boy. Show it, boy. Come on. The proof. Bring it on. Bring on the proof. Show it to us. Show it. Show it. Where is that picture? Check Discord. Okay, fine, then I'll check Discord. I was that... Oh no. Oh god. Will Tristan Foss get out of this mess? Will he ever finish this video game? Tune in to next week. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel. In other words, Excelsior.